Well, look at that. How neat. Oh, let me make sure I can hear all of you. Test, test, test. Would you all mind saying something? I just want to make sure it's picking you all
Words,
up.
words, words.
Nice.
Hello?
Love it.
Hello.
Yay.
Good
Nice to
evening.
awesome. All right, I'm gonna try and keep my cold sounds to myself here as best I can too. But it's so nice to be here with all of you players. Yay! Thank you for joining us, viewers, and popping in. We're back with an Extremis. We slip on over into my notes. Um, Something more comfortable. My notes. And see where we were. We had quite an ordeal last week. Um, Grundy encountering a regular Joe drug dealer from the van sorcerer that he knew from his previous dimension. Um, and Getting a little backstory about how Grundy got here. The sister that seemed to have died, body wasn't there. So, who knows? I'm so sorry. So some mysteries there. And then as Zia and Ashavar were had ordered some food, some noodles and otherwise, a local dasher, from the restaurant via dasher. They were explaining via murder board and 281 steps how they've arrived at, I think, the complexities around the stuffed dolls and Liazana and some other factors in their current journey. Um, Meanwhile, a knock at the door. Sadie was closest, and it was a person, a dasher, saying, can you come down and pay? And so Sadie went with, but failed a saving throw on the way down. It was abducted, and it turned into two teams of detectives. One's scouring the city, Alana and Grundy heading out and scouring the city. Excuse me, and then Zia and Ashavar following leads and clues. Who's seen this person? And they went to the noodle shop and found other clues that led them to the dock, and they all got out there and saved Sadie. But it was much more eventful than I just summarized. Um, at the end of the session, I believe Sadie coming back to just kicking and screaming. As being awoken, last she knew, she was wrapped up in that felt material inside a box. So naturally, freaking out a bit, she woke up. I feel like that's where we ended. We just kind of soft ended because that was enough drama for the day. I don't think there was any special cliffhanger. Um, and everyone has a meeting. I think it's tomorrow because that all took place today. Yeah, tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon with the Arcanists in their estate in the edge of the city. But for now, it's I think evening time. You're down at the docks. Workers are wrapping up for the day. The sun's beginning to set. And Sadie, you're surrounded by, your friends here that saved you. Picking up there, I think we finished with you all still at the docks and Sadie just waking up. Um, yeah. Wendy will probably just ask, so does that happen often, Sadie? What happened?
I, um, I guess what happened is I thought I was free, but it really wasn't. Um, yeah, they were trying to take me back to Caldora, which is the island I come from. And I think I said last week that Sadie looks like Misk now. So the kind of long white hair that's kind of pulled back and the very pale, almost bluish gray skin. Scars are a bit more visible than they usually are. I'm sorry if I threw everyone off and you had to come after me.
Yes, darling, please apologize for being kidnapped. That was completely in your hands.
Yeah.
It's really not a problem.
So yeah, but they apparently I guess I'll just kind of clue you in. I come from Caldora, which is a small island off of Atmos. I have a tribe there of sorts that I was raised with. My father is currently the leader, and I was supposed to become the leader when I was turned 18. But I left before that could happen, wanting to be somewhere else, anywhere else, and went to Atmos, where I thought that I was gone from them, but apparently, according to my kidnapper, he was part of my dad's tribe, or my tribe, I guess. He knew I was there the entire time. So, and since Atlas was destroyed, wants me back because he doesn't think I'm safe.
I'm assuming that Zia and Ashavar would have come back from
Oh yeah, for
their
sure.
side journey.
Yeah.
Uh, what did we miss? Is everything okay?
No, no. um, Miss will just give you a brief recap really quick.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Sadie. Missed. It's been a while since I've seen that form. I thought you were a completely different person. Sorry.
Okay. Um,
Um, so your tribe, do they have, well, like a symbol or something like that?
Sadie will, I was going to draw this out at some point this past week, but I didn't. Sadie will, not Sadie, Miss will, kind of roll up their sleeve and just show you like this tattoo of like a beast kind of tangled in vines.
Oh yeah, that's exactly the same symbol they all had. Um, yeah, I'm really sorry they got away.
The unfortunate thing is they could be anyone. They have shape-shifting abilities like I do.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not sure if the tattoo will shapeshift with them, but possibly.
it did not, from what I saw.
Thought
But then
it was a
again, it was,
brand.
or yes, yes.
Yeah, and you know that, Misk. A brand is metal on your skin that burns it. So, unlike a
Okay.
tattoo that's ink,
But,
it was just scar
seemed pretty
tissue.
consistent. I think the thing that almost concerns me more is just we came here thinking that like could avoid the the government's pursuit. But now, if they found you here, there's a good chance that um, other airships are not too far behind. Do you have any idea where they might have, or how they might have figured out you were here, or even with us at all?
Apparently, they've been looking for me pretty much everywhere since Atmos was partially destroyed. They've been. Person was telling me that they were paying off people, people on ships and things to keep an eye out. And yeah. So we might be fine still, with from the
You have?
Federation and things. I mean, but you know, if my small island, my tribe will go to these lengths, it's hard to tell, really.
We were pretty far from. You said it was off, just off the coast of Atmos, right? So
Yeah.
there's some pretty powerful people.
Just, I'm sure they think they have more power than they do, but just very clever. But all we can do is keep an eye out, I guess.
You could fake your death.
Sure.
I'll get
I love that.
I'll get on that.
Okay.
Okay. As long as it doesn't involve me being in another coffin box.
No, none of that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
never again. Kind of hard to just go back to the same room now. I feel like now that they know that we were staying there, do you think we should move?
Maybe we should stay on the ship for now.
Possibly. They seem pretty intent on getting to me, so I really don't know. I didn't expect them to be out here at all, or even looking for me in the first place, so.
I think Boots might step out from a dark corner of the room, roguelike.
Boots,
Uh,
I know you were here.
Don't worry about it. Listen, I think it's a good idea that you all go down to the boat. Let me and another crew member, maybe Charles or someone, stay in the hotel tonight. Order some bubbly. We'll get a little room service, like we're just recovering from an ordeal. And that way, if anyone comes around, we'll be ready to trap them instead of the other way around.
Crafty. I like it.
We get some answers.
Yeah, maybe I can dig around a little bit through Cassius's stuff. I'm sure he wouldn't mind, and maybe see if he's got any traps lying around.
Yeah, that lovable galoot. Yeah, of course he wouldn't mind. Have at it. Excuse me. I'm gonna go set up. Um, and yeah. Maybe disguise her too. Maybe look like um.
I can help with the disguising.
Oh, I'd love that. That's right. Nice. What do you think, Misk? You want I should look like this, or like you were as before?
I mean, if you can look like I was before, probably.
All right.
They see that form
Good.
as well as I don't really have any other. There's this. what I look like now, and Sadie, which is my preferred. But
Good.
I think I'd better stay away from it for now.
Oh yeah, I have an expertise in disguise kits. Woohoo!
Oh, well, what do you say we get
Nice.
started here, Ashavar? And that way I can just walk back looking like Sadie with Charles.
Excellent.
Love it.
Come into my parlor, gentlemen. Parlor.
And walks over, with one boot in front of the other. All right, and he's all excited to get done up by you.
Misk will temporarily kind of transform into Sadie, just so you have a reference to go by for the disguising.
Okie dokie.
And then we'll change back to Misk once they're done.
Okay. All right. Ashfar, go ahead and make a roll with, I think it's Dex. I think it's a Dex roll with the disguise kit. You've got all the setup you need with, Ashfar posing and stuff. You can do it with advantage too.
So I get my dexterity bonus
Mhm.
and proficiency bonus.
Yes.
Right.
hmm
And then expertise gives me advantage. Or how's that work?
Expertise will give you double your proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay.
So if you have that expertise
Sweet.
from the UAF, then go for it. But still roll with advantage too, because you have advantage because Sadie's posing.
Okay. I can math. 25.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah, Boots looks just like, tail tucked in and everything looks just like Sadie. He's going on about ships and all this, stuff like that. I love ships. I love building them. I like eyeballing them. And he kind of like works over to Sadie's voice after a little bit. Okay. Are you all heading back to the ship then?
Yep.
Seems like it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm so sorry. All right. You all head over there and get settled in for the night. Is there anything you want to do before sleeping tonight here on the ship?
Zio's gonna look to see if there's anything in Cassius's workshop that can be worked as like a trap underneath
I
Sadie's door.
would say there's probably plenty. You can do like the old, tied off rope that yoinks them up off the, a la Scooby Doo. But there's like weighted nets and things like that you could rig to go. There's some more explosive measures. There's probably one of those you can fire the nets off like a crossbolt. I think he's got one of those, You could set it up with a hair trigger. Like if anyone opens the door when they shouldn't.
Yeah, I think probably the Scooby-Doo net. That just sounds way better than anything I could possibly think of. Dan, I really appreciate that.
That's awesome. Perfect.
Probably, well, if Ashavar is available, maybe getting some help setting it up.
Okay. All right, nice. Yeah.
Obviously telling Sadie, like, here's what we're doing. Or Misk, sorry.
Nice. Okay. All right, so you do just that. And let's see. Anyone else doing anything tonight before sleep? Long rest?
As soon as they get on the boat, Misk is going to be looking around and just seeing, kind of like looking in every nook and cranny of the boat to make sure that no one's hiding.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check as you
Okay.
look around.
Oh,
There's another
that's one
Sadie
thing.
stowed away. Yeah, just kidding. How
Dun
are
dun
you?
dun. All right, investigation. Let's see if my dice hate. Oh, no. Okay. Investigation, that is 19 total.
Nice. Okay, you check pretty thoroughly. Any of your friends on board here are gonna like offer to help too. Just make sure you're feeling comfortable with the ship. There is no one on board that should not be on board that you can find.
Miss would thank them. Misk might, if they know that anyone like patrols or stays mostly on deck during the night, Misk would just kind of let them know to keep an eye out, of course, for anyone coming on the ship, but they would just kind of reiterate that out of caution and fear, probably. And then go to bed and lock their door.
Right, you lock it up tight. If no one has anything else, I'll say go ahead and make sure you all do a long rest in D&D Beyond in case because of the antics yesterday, if any that took any damage. And the morning rolls around, night goes by nice and smoothly. Common sounds of the ship, breakfast bell in the galley. Sounds for like, it's like 7:30's first breakfast, There's another one for the folks that get up late around like 9, but Vic will usually attend to, or Vic and see in.
I will say Zia will probably attempt to walk in like with Ashavar if Ashavar's around and just be like, I thought it was gonna work. I really thought it was gonna work. I can't believe we didn't catch anything in the net last night. That's crazy.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're lurking, trying to give us some space so they can catch us off guard again.
Do you think we should set up more nets?
More nets.
More nets.
That's awesome. Do you plan to double down on the nets? And just to be safe.
As a bookkeeping note, I forgot to roll if my failed experiment one destroys itself
Oh no.
when it recharges. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do that now.
Okay, fingers crossed.
If I roll a 1, no more failed experiment
Oh.
1. And I rolled a 10.
Okay, good.
So I still have the
Whew.
failed experiment 1.
Yay, I love that thing so much. Let's all roll for the DM inspo. Yeah. Just in case it's needed today. Sarah, what'd you get?
Ooh.
A 2? Oh, fun. Claire, how about you?
18.
18. Okay. Steph? A 1. Nice. And Lil?
19.
Okay, wow.
Wow.
Lily Price have righted the shit out of that. It's a 19 and 0 and 18. I was like, oh yeah, Claire's probably got this. Amazing. All right, so it's
Perfect.
a D10 for the night. Okay, so it's the morning. You have hearty breakfast. If you have any roleplay you want to do, please do. Boots is gonna go, either with Ashvar and Zia or as directed by them to go set up some more of the net traps. More time in front of the windows, a la Home Alone.
Mhm.
Oh,
Dancing
yeah.
in front of windows. Just really under your keen direction. To
There's got to be a spell to do something like that, right?
I imagine so. Yeah, yeah. Some thaumaturgy or prestidigitation can probably make those things happen.
Oh yeah.
Both prestidigitation and minor illusion. So
Oh, nice.
We'll make like a
Foop,
party on the
foop,
boat.
foop.
Awesome. So you have that like ready, and Boots says, he'll let you know if anything comes up. Boots and Charles, and Charlie's probably there too. They're doing their jam. As the anyone have anything before time to head over to the Arcanist estate in the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay, so what would you like to do?
So this was before breakfast.
Breakfast. Got it.
Sadie would probably come in a little bit later than usual into the galley. But hopefully everyone's there. Okay. So I'm sorry, Misk. This isn't Sadie, it's Misk. Misk will just kind of like step into the doorway and just kind of like look around and slowly step over to where everyone's sitting. I wish good morning to everyone. So I think I've made a plan. I'm a little upset. Not sad, but just upset. I think that I want to handle this head on. So I think that if we see any of these other people, or if we notice someone's following us, or me particularly, I want to approach them and confront them and tell them that I think that I want to go and talk to my father at the island. I don't expect to do that today, of course. And I won't expect, if y'all don't want to come with me, to do so. I would like for you to. But we can do what we can do in here on my Mayo. And then if you're willing, we can head over to my island to confront my father about this. Or I can. I can confront them. You don't have to confront him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I mean, it may be a little bit awkward to go so close to Atmos, but I'm sure we can find a way to like keep undercover. The UAF is going to be all over the place. But yeah, if you're going, we're coming with you.
Thank you. If it turns out that something happens and we have to wait until after the keys and everything, then we can. I don't want to keep traveling, looking over my shoulder and wondering if they're going to come after me. Thank you.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like any way to live.
Yeah. I mean, Ashamar's never had anybody come after them, like, ever. So,
Never. Mm-mm.
Never. Never even been to prison. Not even once.
Well, that is actually true.
We got you.
Awesome.
Thank you. And they'll just get into breakfast.
Hey.
Have some pancakes.
And we'll probably, the next time that they head out anywhere, will probably be as Sadie.
Okay. Well, you finish up breakfast. Everyone gets kind of prepared. You even have lunch, a nice hearty lunch, because you're not sure what to expect at 2. As you all kind of pass the time either on the ship or on the island. Let's see. Let me put you back to Sadie.
Mm.
There we go. And head out into the island. You have Alana. You have a map marked with the estate of the home of the Arcanist here, near the edge of this city. And the city's building itself form like the shapes and lines of a runic circle. And somewhere along that outer edge lies their estate. You all set off anything to do before arriving, or you're headed right over to the Arcanist? Okay.
Ready to go.
Ashavar is taking her veal with her in case she gets bored. And
Nice.
so you know how like in like video games, characters have like two swords and they're like crossed on their backs, you know. She's got a veal and the broom, you know,
Nice.
strapped to her back.
Love it.
So,
Ready for action one way or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
all situations accounted for.
Beautiful. All right, you head off through the water fountain-esque streets, 1.5 to 2 feet deep of clean water that runs and gets filtrated as people walk through it. It offers as always, a bit of a rejuvenating effect, topping off hit points, and slowly, but it does it, once around basically, in case you're ever out here and you get hurt. Make your way around to the edge of the city. You come across a rather mannerly estate, marked off here with as the Arcanist's home. There's the gates are already ajar. There's a couple of watchers outside. There's sort of like steel watchers from BG3 because we're all playing. Most of us are playing that. Like metallic kind of golems that are clearly comprised of gears and other things that give them some animation. And robotically just ask you to halt and do sort of a crystal emerges from the chest and does a bit of a little scan across all of you. And you may proceed and opens up the gate. And you can walk up to the front of the building. At which point, as you're maybe 10 steps away from the front door, a butler opens up the door. Half-elf gentleman, medium length, gray hair, sort of combed back with some mousse in it. And yes, please, welcome. The Arcanist is expecting you. Come in, won't you? Stands to the side and gestures inward. Everyone just head in.
Yeah.
Look around.
Okay. I'm going to say that as you were all preparing to head over here, Cassius was going to tell you all to go ahead. He's going to catch up, be right behind you. And so he's not with you yet. We just think of the timing on this. Yeah, he's just not with you yet. And so you enter this beautiful home. It has very tall ceilings, wide hallways, beautiful, architecture from room to room. Plenty of decor, but not overcrowded or stuffy at all. There's a good bit of druidic influence here too. There's a touch of it in the paintings on the walls and other motif and decor that adorn the walls. The butler brings you over. and asks you to be seated in a nice waiting room, a number of soft, comfortable chairs, a drinking cart or two. The Arcanist, who Zeltmir, Zeltmir Branchfoot will be with you momentarily. He thanks you for your patience. If you have need of anything, simply, and he has a little bell, ding ding ding, rings it and sets it down on the drinking cart ring, and I'll be happy to assist. And steps out to give you your privacy. Is there any role playing you want to do while waiting, or you just want to fast forward till they show up?
Do we have like a plan on how we want to approach this? Or we're
Yes.
just
I'm alone
Okay.
Evermere, and that should be enough.
okay.
And you're just gonna be like, give me the gear of time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Been
I th-
solid.
I think there's a high possibility that will work. Yes.
I think so too.
I also think so too.
Okay.
It has worked in the past. I have no reason to believe it won't now.
Okay. Well, I like someone with confidence.
That is pretty logical reasoning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So they said we could have anything when we ring this bell. Do you really think they mean like anything?
Well, what do you mean? Like what are you wanting? Are you need to go to the bathroom?
I mean, I don't know. I could be like, hey, could you pour her something in here that when I drink it is going to remove the barrier that prevents my dad from like actively communicating with me? Or do you think that it's gonna come off the wrong way?
Worth a try.
No, I don't. Well,
that's not usually what they mean by those little bells.
they
It's usually if you
mean,
need
like
something.
water or juice.
Oh, so when they say
Yeah.
anything, it's a social nicety, and what they actually mean is things that you probably don't want.
Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Things to
Gotcha.
make your waiting a bit less weird.
Organizing.
Oh, okay. Like those magazines that
Exactly.
they have.
like the
Magazines?
magazines.
Yeah,
Oh, you right.
yeah. They got little
What can I
moving
say?
pictures on them.
Yeah, no, I've seen a magazine. It just took
Yeah.
a bit to sink in.
Yeah, when you're at the Alchemist, you know, you gotta wait a while.
He knows where the bathroom is.
But we had them at the
There's a bucket
at the
there if
house
you need
too. I
some,
mean,
but
at the
I don't think he
On
the
the
place that I
island?
worked before on
Oh, at
Atmos.
Atmos.
Yeah,
I will tell that I sent
yeah.
the
We had
bag.
some down in the waiting room, so that way
Yeah,
people could look at them while they're waiting for their turn, you know, in
No
their
bells.
session.
no bells.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of weird like that. It's like some places do magazines, some places do bells, but you never have bells and magazines.
No, we didn't have any bales. No,
Mhm.
tend to kind of upset the, bunch of ringing. It's a little doesn't really put you in the mood, you know?
What's up with that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think bells would do it for some people.
Yeah. I'm also imagining just generally the Seinfeld kind of theme in the background through most of this conversation.
Sure.
So there are we gonna ring the bell or not ring the bell?
No, well, I mean, do you need water? Do you need something like that they can provide while you're waiting?
I mean, we could try like writing like a list of things and
Sure.
then we kind of test the limits of their abilities, right? Like we could write down like water, that's a baseline,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and then immortality, and then
Sure.
work our way between those two things until we hit like a solid middle ground. Ooh, what if I'm gonna ask them if we can have one of those golem things outside? And Zeal ring the bell.
Ding, ding, ding. The door opens up. Yes. Madam, how may I
Uh,
assist you?
well, first of all, thank you for coming so quickly.
Mm.
So you know those steel metal golem things?
Yes, yes.
Uh, would it be possible to get one?
Oh, well, they are manufactured locally. I suppose that you could put in a purchase request. Um, they're rather, unfortunately, due to the cost of their construction, a bit expensive. But not to say
Mm.
that you don't have the funds, but just to prepare you. They're a heavy investment, but they do a wonderful job of guarding things. Certainly, I can
Sure.
give you the number and put you in contact with the
Oh.
person down at the local commission that
That
crafts
would be
them.
fantastic. Yeah, and we can just say that, oh, the archivist sent us.
Or the archivist butler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It comes under the umbrella of anything you want.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll write down the contacts information for you gladly. You seem a little like write it down.
You're doing a good job. Do you need some water?
No.
Let me
go
ring
get
the
you some
bell
bell.
water.
for me.
Yeah, we
ring the
can
bell.
ring a bell.
Hoping that another butler will come and bring the first butler.
A smaller butler. Yeah, it goes through a
Yeah.
smaller door. He hands you contact. He wrote it down in a little card. He hands you the person's chin.
Thank you, good sir.
Of course, of course. Oh, I think that might be. And peeks out in the hallway. Ah, yes, and ushers aside and gestures in Zeltmere Branchfoot. Um,
Branch butt.
Zeltmere, Zeltmir, and then Branchfoot. What
I have
Branch
seven
foot.
different. I have
Branch
seven
foot.
different spellings of this currently in the notes. I think that's great.
That's awesome.
That's how you know it's a good name.
Yeah. So he just sort of exudes a druid, like a timeless druid almost. Meaning maybe 5'9". But has the antlers that grow through some tousled hair. There's sort of a fresh autumn breeze that comes in the room along with him, and has sort of a tapestry of a thin cloak of woven leaves that kind of isn't rigid or crisp like you would expect leaves to be, but just kind of folds beautifully in autumnal colors that rests pushed back behind his shoulders. Ah, thank you all for waiting. My name is Zeltmere Branchfoot, but you can call me Zel. Um, this you must be Alana, purportedly. Looks over to Alana.
Yes, dear. Pleasure to meet you.
Indeed. And you are all, and kind of goes to just introduce you. Go over to Ashavar first, and
Ashavar.
Pleasure to see you next.
Zeal do a deep bow.
Returns. Pleasure. And over to Sadie.
Sadie.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, and then over to Grundy. Yes, well, I hope you've all found yourselves rather comfortable here. As to the matter at hand, I'm sure you are equally busy. You are seeking the gear of time. Yes. The pretense that you are a lot of Nevermere and have need of it. Well, I am in charge of Tomehold, indeed. and a bit of a history buff as well into Alana Nevermere and the city itself. So I would simply propose that I ask you a question or two, Alana. Should you know these rather intimate details that are all but lost to history, save to a handful such as myself, then you can prove yourself to be Alana, and then I will acquiesce. So, I would ask you, as of course you all must understand, I cannot allow strangers to access the gear of time, but again, if you are truly Alana Nevermere, um, that would be a different matter. So please, tell me some things that only the real Alana would know. Something along the lines of a personal anecdote of yourself, it is you, and those that you were close to back in your days when working on the grand plan to undo the Omega Curtain. Tell me of funny or sad tale of any anecdote of your time with any of your close friends back then. Your closest three, perhaps.
What?
It seems to be referring to like your closest, you had like two or three really good friends in that group that was all working together on the Omega Curtain thing. Like Dracus. But before she was Dracus and stuff. So he's like, tell me a funny story. Tell me something that would be something only the real Lana would know. That he's so in tune with history that he'll know, based on he's aware of anecdotes from that time.
Well, I suppose I could tell you the time I was working with Lilith and TiVo. We were just, it had been a long, long day and full of research and such. And we were trying to push through the hours, and, Lilith was constantly raising her goddamned zombies and such, and they're lumbering about and they're really starting to smell. And TiVo had the bright idea of trying to make a bit of a smell dampener of sorts, try and level it out, because they're small quarters, of course, in the lab there. And he was always so fond of Mage Hand and such, If he didn't have to go and walk across the room himself, then why the hell should he? He does magic. But of course, we're all rather exhausted. And he grabbed quite a handful of the wrong potions as he was mixing them all together, putting them over the flame and such. And they did not react well at all. Positively exploded everywhere. It was sticky, filled the entire room. And the worst part, it smelt far worse than the zombies. Smell lingered for days in our hair and our clothes.
Yes, this rings of truth. Well, one more question for you then. Perhaps I can settle on this. There are many stories, many, of how Ilana Nevermere lost her arm. Tell me the true story of how she lost her arm, and I will believe it to be you.
That. All right. We had a research center set up next to the Omega Con, where I was spending a lot of my days towards the end, and there had been an essay contest of sorts, one that I participated in my youth. Actually, got to meet a bit of hero of mine that way, which is why I had then consented to one being set to meet me. And it was a bright young child that won, so eager and just they wanted to know everything. Then I gave them the tour. We had the customary lunch and such. And of course, my attention is needed elsewhere, just briefly. And I took my eyes off of them. Only for a few minutes, I thought, but it must have been longer because they were walking along the aisle there down to the curtain, just reaching out, so curious. And I could see the curtain pulling in towards them, pulling them in. In a panic, I teleported over to them, ripped them out, and it started pulling my arm in, and I could see it festering, taking hold, threatening to take my whole body. So I shot it off. Held the child back out to safety, and crafted this one.
So many people get that wrong. I don't think Alana like to tell others of that. Too heroic. Didn't like to be looked at that way.
I typically just like to tell people that it was one of Tivo's alchemical mishaps.
You certainly did. Well, tell me, would you care for a drink? And he uses his mage hand to go grab a drink and pour it for you.
Please.
Sets it back down. The mage hand visible to the eye. Most are a purplish pinkish hue, but this one takes on a very unique color. The same that Tivo, Devonair, would always use. Painted a bit, the alchemist's hand. This person before you, also not wanting to be bothered to go get things, uses mage hand to drag a drink over to you and pour it. As though to announce themselves to be Tivo. Good to see you, Lana. It's been some time.
Truly.
It's your apparent pain in the ass friend, Tivo. The bumbling fool. Reincarnated a few times since. Found myself this rather timeless body and have been in this for some many centuries now.
Well, I meant no offense, Tivo, but amongst stories to tell.
None taken, none taken. Good times. How the hell are you alive? And they sit down with all of you at this point and kind of lean back and they bring the drink cart over like for everybody. And then you get caught up on like your exploits and well, you're all so interesting. So much going on here. um well, oops. I will certainly accept your request to retrieve the Gear of Time. However, it is stored within Tomehold, and that's sort of where the trouble is. The trouble being that it's probably the safest place on the planet. But it's become a little too safe, where it's protecting itself from us. Outside of the first 20 levels or so, we haven't been able to access the rest of Tomehold for a few decades. So, you are absolutely welcome to it. Hearing that you have the rest of what's needed to accomplish what we set out to do so long ago, incredible. And if I can be of any assistance further than this, please let me know. But it can grant you access to Tomehold, but again, it's guarded by a dragon. Millie was tethered to the library quite some time ago. The mage that bound her, astronomically powerful. But in her later years, the mage passed rather abruptly, unexpectedly as well. Once Millie had paid her due, her penance, being guarding Tomehold, and the time came to release her, and there were no mages able to undo her binding to Tomehold. For the mage that bound her was again on a different level entirely. So, we have not found a mage since able to undo her binding to Tomehold, and of course, the world was in such turmoil after the collapse. Around 2,000 years ago, Millie, the dragon, passed away, but sadly found her spirit still bound to Tomehold. And so past generations, or rather as such, she slowly began to lose touch with reality, being a spirit at this point. And so there are some past generations that began to fear encountering Millie as she began to lose her grasp on reality, and that the solitude only exacerbated Millie's descent into madness. In the past century or so, we're coming up on a century now, we haven't been able to access most of, again, the records of tomes stored within, only the first 20 levels or so. Given it to you, Alana, and you all seem like rather capable adventurers. I'm happy to grant you entrance, as I understand the severity of the need. But old friend, please be careful. And if you are forced to confront Millie, hopefully you can find your way through without encountering her. But if you're forced to confront Millie, I feel only perhaps you are powerful enough, Lana, to break her binding to Tomehold. And so I can offer you the component needed. Doesn't have it with them here, but as a to do away with the binding, as opposed to trying to take on and destroy Billy. Um, but I can tell you on what floor. It's deep. The gear of time within Tomehold. Millie has a way of managing, rearranging the space, floors, the rooms of Tomehold. So expect to spend at least a week to get to the depths and return.
If there's a break in his story once he finishes talking about Millie the dragon, Ashavar bolts straight up out of her chair and her eyes are doing the glowy thing. That happens when she's emotional or thinking hard. She's like, we gotta help that dragon. And then and then she realizes that she just probably yelled really loud and it's like, excuse me, and sits down. Carry on. But we should help the dragon.
I love your sentiment. Yes, I would love to see Billy unbound. Truly, she's paid her penance many times over, and I would love to see her free. And he'll turn to the butler and tell him what to get. And it's basically a material component in it, like a decoupling, debinding spell that you would know, Alana. Basically, as far as details on that, if you encounter Millie, he's saying, because it's not a guaranteed. If you do, you could, destroy her, kill her, and then she goes on wherever, that'll move her on. Or you could use this component thing to, in a more kind way, debind her and just allow her to go. But that requires engaging and weakening her enough to be susceptible to the spell. So that still means fighting, just not to the death. It just means weakening so that you can perform the spell. Yeah. Da-da-da. Oh, an interesting side note that you would know, Alana, is that Tomehold is the core of Mordenkainen's Latitudinous Library spell. Been used in some other campaigns, and it's used on the Tempest when you go up and use the library, the bookshelves that go. It pulls from Tomehold, as it's the most expansive library. Just a fun little tidbit to my notes. I wrote up because I like geeky stuff. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. That's this place. So of course the choice is yours, but I'm afraid I'm no match for Millie, and there's something a strange drain on the mana reserves of the island recently that I'm trying to maintain a balance of and figure out what's happening. So my attention can't be diverted from that, but I will give you full access to Tomehold if you wish to pursue that.
Um, so why, maybe I missed it, but why was Millie bound to the library? Was it just for protection in the beginning?
Millie attacked the city a very long time ago.
And so they bound her to a library?
Yeah, she took many lives in the city, and a wizard managed to subdue Millie, and her penance was to guard the library, watch over the city and the library for some time, and then be free to go about the rest of her life, hopefully learning, a lesson.
Oh,
Clearly, that wizard did not have a contingency plan for death.
yeah.
Sadly, no.
or if we're merely losing it. Which who wouldn't in that state, you know?
Absolutely, I agree.
One more question. So besides Millie rearranging this library at will, it seems, is there anything else that we should keep an eye out for as we head in?
Well, there's certainly a great deal down there. Many other artifacts like the Gear of Time. There are areas of Toehold that have been. There are groups and teams of long-lived creatures that we've sent that do work down there that just don't return, or used to return every couple of decades, but haven't because they haven't had access back up. There's a lot going on down there, yes. So just in general, be cautious before you touch things. A lot of it's simple navigation. The rooms can change. A door that led to one room once passed through may lead elsewhere should you return through it. There isn't much that's unfriendly unless provoked or touched, so for the most part, treat it like a museum, a historical museum, and don't engage with the items, and be courteous to any staff you encounter.
Don't
If
engage with the items, like in conversation.
Some, yes, I would be cautious. There
mm,
are precautions put in place, but many have not been tended to for a century now.
since your people have not came back and you can't access it, is there anything that you want us to I don't know, maybe pick up for bring back to you for a little bit of a reward or something?
If you wish to, guide any that wish to return with you, that would be quite lovely. Uh, they have the means to return, but not have. We just simply aren't sending anyone else down there to follow up. Honestly, if something can be done, if you do encounter Millie, that would be the greatest deed for Millie's sake and everyone's. But otherwise, what you're doing with the Gear of Time, I can't thank you enough for. That in itself is one of the greatest deeds this world will know for some time.
Okay.
Just like a side note, has anyone else come to you like looking for the Gear of Time recently?
Question.
No, should I be wary of anyone else that does, if someone does while you're down there?
Uh, if you see somebody who kind of sort of looks like me,
Okay,
yes,
all right,
I I would be cautious of them.
there we go. Thank you for the warning.
And thank you for
Insight check.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
It's an 18.
Nice. Yeah, no, they seem to be really thankful that you're giving a heads up.
All right. Well,
Mhm. Butler comes back with that component. Sorry, go ahead, see ya.
uh, since it's going to take about a week round trip, are there ways of sustaining ourselves while we're down there? Should we pack extra rations, things of that sort,
I would
or
pack extra rations. Yes, yes, definitely.
good to know?
Pack extra rations. Sadie says aloud and she writes it down in her notebook.
Nice,
Got it.
wonderful. Well, here is the component, and it's a multifaceted ruby, Alana, that he passes to you. Um, and it has a bit like a golden spike on a center facet on the backside. If you weaken Millie enough, you'll have to press this into. You'll peel back a scale, press this in, and as you engage with Millie, she'll be somewhat corporeal. Phases between as she's a ghost. But if you could remove scales are still tangible. If you could remove one and press this within and weaken her down to like 25% health. I don't know how to put that in like a storytelling way. Then um, you'll be able to complete the spell and your next it takes one action. Complete the spell, and that'll unbind Billy from the library. So you gives that to Alana. Well,
And
yes.
there's nothing for the Gear of Time. We can just grab it.
Yes, most of the security typically is in gaining entrance to Tomehold as opposed to locally for each item. So,
Fantastic.
yes, so you should be quite able to simply remove it. I can have this prepared as early as this evening after dinner. I'd love to invite you all to dinner, or if you'd like to just simply stay here and enjoy dinner, then I can grant you access to Tomehold.
We usually say no to food.
Yeah, I would very much love to be invited to dinner.
Well, then
Exactly.
consider yourself invited. Please make yourselves at home, drink up, talk amongst yourselves, and consider the room and the estate your own. And I'll have feel free to roam room to room if you wish, and the butler will grab you once it's time for dinner. I have a few more matters to attend to with this fauna issue with the island, but I'll return in just a few hours for dinner. It's been
Alrighty.
a pleasure meeting you all and a lot of catching up. I am so thankful that whoever saw fit, fate or otherwise, to spare you from death and deliver you here.
Me too.
Lana, if you wish to speak of Lilith at any point, I would be happy to perhaps fill you in a little. We don't know if you've encountered her recently or not, but be wary if you do. She's changed considerably, and I can tell you a bit about that if you wish when I return.
Please.
Of course. All right, very well. I'll leave you to your own devices. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you all soon for dinner. He stands up and heads out. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you all, because I gotta blow my nose so bad. I'm gonna give you all just a minute or two. Please feel free to do any role play here and kind of catch up now that he and the butler are out of the room, and I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, just a dragon, right? I mean, should be easy peasy.
I guess we should have asked what kind of dragon, because there are a lot of different kinds, right?
Mm-hmm. But if it's a ghost, it's a ghost dragon.
Are all ghost dragons the
A
same?
ghost dragon?
Well, I mean, once they've left their corporeal bodies behind, their nature as chromatic or metallic is generally also left behind, I would think.
So if they can they do ghost fire?
Probably.
For a ghost other weapon.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of powers a ghost dragon can have.
Well, I mean, out of character standby.
It could scare you. It could pop out of the wall
I'm sure.
and roar, and but we're expecting it, so we wouldn't get scared.
Wouldn't we?
Well, whenever I summon Monty, I get to pick what kind of dragon he is. So,
Can you pick a ghost dragon?
well, he is a ghost dragon. He's a spirit
Oh.
dragon.
Oh, there you
So,
go.
I don't
Does he
know.
have does he have a soul
He is a soul.
of a dragon?
Ugh.
Yes. Named Monty.
So it's a ghost dragon that you can just choose what type of ghost dragon it is when you summon it.
Yeah. And
I
Where did
wonder
you get a
if-
dragon soul?
Hmm?
Where did you get a dragon soul?
I don't know. It just
What do you
followed me
mean
home
you
one
don't
day.
know?
It seems
How-
like something you'd have to find,
Just go,
fight for, maybe like, you know, take over an entire city just to get a dragon soul sort of thing.
or like kill the dragon, or right before death, seal its soul and
No. I mean, there was a spell that I was talking with my quarry spirit about, but it involved, like trying to enslave a dragon's soul, and I'm not about that, but
okay, that's bad.
I did get to talking to one when I was in the dream realm once, and we had a really nice conversation, and he gave me a phrase that I can say to summon him every once in a while. Like, not all the time. He's pretty independent. He doesn't like to like be at my beck and call all the time. So, he's like, just keep it. Don't be summoning me all the time, man. I got shit I need to do.
Sure.
I'm thinking about it. We have a dragon. Like Carmine.
Oh yeah,
We
where
do
he's
have
good.
karma. Yeah.
Carmine just like talk to Millie and be like, hey, just let these people like stick a thing inside of you and you'll be fine.
We should take Carmine with us. Maybe we should talk to Carmine before, at least talk to him before
Yeah.
we leave, and just kind of get Carmine's take on it. They seem like they seem pretty wise. That they got a lot of knowledge up in there.
What have
Yeah.
they been up to recently?
Yeah, for a
Anyway.
1-year-old, they're like all over the place.
They're one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's an estimate. It might
They look like
honestly
a
be less than
man
that.
most of the time on the ship.
I mean, you could say that, I guess.
I mean, I have met some that have seemed like that they're,
They're what?
fresh out of the egg whenever they're just
You see some dragons? that look like they're fresh?
no, like
Some men?
they're a few how can I say this? They're a few they're like a fry short of a meal that you get in the galley.
What?
You mean those small potatoes that
Yeah,
are crispy?
The potatoes that you chop up. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh, chopped potatoes. Like that's
Exactly.
He's missing some potatoes.
That's not what I'm talking about at all. But here we are. Yeah, we should talk to Carmine.
Yeah.
Of course, we can't do it. Oh man, can you talk to Carmine? Can we talk to Carmine
Yeah,
through
yeah,
our
yeah.
mind link?
We could do that.
Carmine, can you hear us?
Oh, hello. Yes, I can.
Oh, wow.
How do you fare?
Oh wow. I haven't. Carmine, if you don't recognize my voice, I'm Sadie. I don't think I've really talked to you that much on the ship. but I'm here with everyone. Well, with most of us.
Wonderful.
So Carmine, we're going up to see a dragon that's guarding a library. I think it's a ghost dragon named Millie. And well, Millie, it's a really sad story, Carmine. They were imprisoned there, and then the wizard, I think, died or was killed. I don't remember. And so now they're there. They've been there and they lost their mind, and now they're just a ghost dragon there.
An insane one.
So right, yeah.
The wizard didn't write down the spell or didn't make a
Yeah.
contingency plan to release the dragon in case of his death, and so now nobody is powerful
Yeah.
enough to was powerful enough to release the dragon. Hence, it died in there and with Mills.
No,
And we'd like to fix that.
yeah, we're not one to kill it, Carmine.
No.
We're not looking to we're wanting to help it. And we have something that might help us to help it, but we're just kind of wondering if you got any insight, since you're a dragon as well.
Oh, based on what you've said, I dare say that the dragon's mind must be broken beyond on a spoiled and fractured, must be shattered at this point. I don't know that there's much reasoning that could be done. It sounds like force may be the answer.
Yeah, the thing we have to kind of get it, you have to kind of hurt it a little bit, some, in order to get it weak enough so that we can do this freeing spell.
I can't speak for that dragon, but I'm sure you would find the same answer. Were you in their position, a little pain to be released from that nightmare? Sounds like the option I would go for.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The hubris of
You
wizards.
got anything else, Zia, or Ashavar or Lana to add?
It's just nice to talk to you, Carmine. Hope you're doing well. If you wanted to tag along, big library, so it might be fun. Alana's here
Room.
too. We met one of her friends. He seems chill.
That piece
They
of
have-
druid living in a city. It's kind of
Yeah, they have iron golems here, and they're gonna give me one. So that's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
Technically, they're going to give Zia one after Zia gives them money, so I think it's a buying situation.
yeah.
I think that the money part was negotiable, but we'll get back to you
Okay,
on that one,
well,
Carmine.
Okay.
I
All
wouldn't
right,
miss those
yeah.
negotiations for the world. I think I'd be happy to join you in the library as well. Thank you, Zia, for thinking of me.
I would love to see you there.
We'll make all haste. But,
Wonderful, Carmine. We'll meet you. We'll just figure out where to meet you at. But
mhm.
okay. Well, that was great. She cuts off that was a win. Got Carmine with us. It's one extra person.
Yeah.
more dragon insight, the better.
Do you know any other dragons? Ashvar, can you bring out your dragon to help as well, or is it like a special sort of thing?
Well, usually I save summoning him until we need help beating somebody up. But
Okay.
Yeah, dragon
Sure.
is
But
super
maybe-
effective against dragons, so that might be a good idea to use during the
But-
dragon fight.
I might be able to pop my brain into the dream realm a little bit,
Oh,
see how he's doing.
okay. Do you think that it would get upset if you asked it to fight another dragon? You think that would be like against its code, or
I think he'd have the same opinion as Carmine if Millie's
okay?
trapped in the library in a state of insanity because she's dead and stuck
Oh.
there and can't move on, yeah, I think you'd want to help. So she'd kind of like go to a corner and sit down and just sort of glaze over for like 10 minutes.
It's awesome. Okay.
Like kind of sort asking her like dream spirit, hey, can you pop me into the realm for for a couple minutes?
Awesome. Yeah. And which is this that you're trying to get into? I'm so sorry, Sarah.
Oh, basically I'm RPing a spell that I have, which is summon
Amazing.
draconic spirit.
Okay.
She's trying to commune in the dream realm with the draconic spirit that she summons.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely then. I love it. I love it. Sorry, a bit of a multitask. I wanted to check something.
Oh no. All good.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So you're role playing out the spell. Is there anything you need from me, or do you just want to role play out the summoning?
Basically, all that I was thinking happened is that she sits in the corner for a minute, kind of just goes blank for a little bit, and then pops back out and is like, yeah, he wants to help too.
Oh, nice, nice. Beautiful.
Yes.
New dragon. Yes.
Uh,
Oh god.
Well,
Summoning dragons. And we haven't even talked about my dragon ancestor.
oh my
Wait,
gosh,
what?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can talk about it later. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've learned so much about Alana, and now I'm learning so much about Ashvar. After learning so much about Miss Flesh Lady.
You learned a lot.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Alana, about your arm. I hope that wasn't too terrible to recount.
No, the child lived, I lived, and I just know not to bring children to research facilities anymore.
Mm, yeah.
Real good looking arm.
That's really
Thank you. I made it myself.
We'll learn from your mistakes, and we'll only bring a
Top notch.
1-year-old dragon to library. So it's totally
Yeah.
That'd
be fun.
What could go wrong?
To be fair, I do think that dragons are more durable than children.
fair enough.
One would hope.
One would certainly hope.
Nice. All right, so I'll pass a little time and right, right, they also have news to share with Ilana about Lilith. So, as time kind of comes around, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the beautiful dragon's name? We were just talking about them.
Millie.
No, the one from the ship, our amazing
Carmine.
Yeah, man, I'm like Carmine. Carmine arrives, and they're very I think the form that they currently use most often is sort of Zia-esque, leans more on the feminine side. Of course, they have very much a deep voice, and I think that they've expressed that they them so far. And so they arrive, and they have different outfit on. Looks nice, long and flowing. Sort of what time of year are we in here? October? Oh, okay. All right, so we're out of sundress time. Okay, it's a nice cozy kind of off the shoulder sweater. Yeah. With some whatever, cozy pants kind of go along with that. Just for some warmth here in this late October month. And then the so sorry, I'm just going back up to my notes here because I got too far down. TiVo returns as well and calls Alana aside first just to talk a little bit about Lilith. He sits down and I'd love to share some insights on what Lilith has been up to past 5,000 years. It was rather broken when you were lost. Spent quite a deal of time looking for you. I'm sorry, I got into the story, but it's a little too soon. I should have used the bathroom first. Please excuse me. And then we'll get down to business. And that's where I usually cut to a bio break. But I think for tonight, with players' permission, if it's okay, I think I'll wrap for tonight. My whatever this is like acting up now, and then it's like getting hard to breathe and stuff. So I'm so sorry. But thank you for working with me. And we will pick up next week. We'll find out what happened between Lilith and Dracus. What happened there, and we can get into this library and see if we can find Millie, or if we get just a gear of time and need to bounce. We'll find out what happens next week on an Extremis. You can catch us every Saturday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern. Our Sky Pirate campaign. Come on back next week and see where it goes from here. All right, everybody, have a lovely night. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.